Now we're going to go over a part of the research that is going to be incredibly valuable for you, something you can use with emails, with social media posts, with videos, with ads, with targeted blogs. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools that you're going to have, and that's an avatar map. So, your customer avatar is, in essence, your ideal customer, right? So, let's say 98% of your customer base is men between the ages of 24 and 31. Well, you're not going to include, in this case, you would not include um, women 45 and up because that would make up less, a maximum of 2% of your customer base, right? So this is to zero in on your ideal customer, your ideal buyer, your ideal client. That's what an avatar is, your ideal customer, client, buyer. So what this map does is this map allows you to create an ultra targeted marketing message for your audience, for your ideal customer, no matter what the offer is. You can come up with a new one of these every single time. And it enables you to understand your reader, your prospective clients, your customers on a very, very, very deep level. And this is where you utilize the research that you did earlier, and you can apply it to the avatar map. And you will, when you go back through the email type examples, you'll notice there are sections where avatar map, disqualifications, aspirational elements that will come up. You will use these sections in those emails, the sections where it said, you know, if you're okay with all of these pain points still being in your life, then this isn't for you. This will be the frustrations and fears section of the avatar map. But if you're ready to have all of these amazing dream life things, that would be just filling in the copy using the aspirational, the positive side of the avatar map. So the way it works is there's 3 entries in each quadrant. Okay, here is the actual map itself. This is what it looks like. So at the top, we have immediate, frustrations, and then wants. And then we have at the bottom, imagined, fears, and aspirations. On left, we have away. On right, we have towards. Okay, so these are the left side at the top, these are the immediate frustrations. These are the frustrations that your avatar, your ideal customer, client, buyer, reader is struggling with immediately. They're struggling with it right now. They're frustrated by it right now. They want to move away from it. Okay. Now down here at the bottom left, these are the imagined fears. So the immediate frustrations are the things that they're frustrated by, dealing with, want to end right now. The imagined fears are things that they haven't even thought of yet because it's so far down the line. But this is what will happen if they also want to move away from this. But this is what will happen if none of their pain points and the frustrations get solved. So if their frustrations keep building and they keep boiling up and bubbling over, ultimately they'll turn into these long-term imagined fears. Okay. Now we start with the frustrations, the immediate frustrations, and then we use the immediate frustrations and kind of build them up and combine them to create the long-term imagined fears. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. We'll do an example together in just a minute. So after you filled out the left side of the map, the immediate frustrations that they want to move away from, the imagined fears they also want to move away from, then we go to the immediate wants, okay, which are what they want to move towards. Then we have the imagined aspirations, the dream life that they don't even think is possible for them right now. We fill that out. So here's how it works. We fill out the immediate frustrations, build up and combine those immediate frustrations to create the imagined long-term fears. Then for the wants and aspirations, it's super easy. We just invert them. We just do the exact opposite. So if the frustration is, I can never go up, then the want is I can always go up easily, right? It's actually really, really simple. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do an example avatar map together. We're going to do this for a weight loss offer, a fat loss offer, right? It could be a fat loss supplement. It could be a digital information product, a workout program. The avatar that we're working with is a weight loss avatar. So normally you want to have about 3 entries in each section. Sometimes it can be 2. Sometimes you may only have 1 or 2 fears, right? And you want to spend as much time on this as you need, but the more you do these, the more accustomed you're going to get to putting these together, and you're going to be able to put together a new one for each offer that you write emails for, that you write copy for. Okay. So we're going to start with remember we go from top to bottom, left to right. So we start with the immediate frustrations. So the first one for a weight loss offer might be, I can't lose weight. Weight loss is difficult. Okay. Now the next one might be, I don't like how I look in the mirror. Another one might be, I'm not confident. Now, if all of these 3 things, I'm sorry, it's not completely, let's see if we can line this up a little bit better. Well, okay, you get the picture. So what will happen if these 3 things manifest themselves, they compound, they keep getting worse, the problems don't get solved, everything just kind of piles on top of one another year after year after year. One fear might be, I'll never be able to lose weight. This is how we're going to do this. Should have done this the first time, right? Another one might be, I'll never be happy, right? We're getting really serious now because these are the long-term imagined fears. If your problems keep happening, they keep compounding, they don't get solved, what's going to happen? Another one might be, I'll die young, right? Because if someone is really struggling with weight loss, and time and time again, no matter what they try, the workouts, the diets, nothing seems to work for them, and they keep gaining weight, that's a really serious issue. It's a really serious concern, right? So now we have the immediate frustrations they want to move away from. We have the imagined long-term fears that they also want to move away from. So now we need to get the immediate wants, the imagined aspirations. This is so this right here, this is the hard part, especially this one. Now we get to the fun stuff. So I can't lose weight. Weight loss is difficult for me. Just goes to, weight loss is easy for me. Maybe it's now, right? So I don't like how I look in the mirror turns into, not only do I love how I look in the mirror, but I have people coming up to me asking for my secret. That's like how you're really taking things kind of the next level, right? And I'm not confident turns into, I have unshakable confidence, right? Or something like that. I have steel confidence, as strong as a steel wall or whatever it may be. So I'll never be able to lose weight turns into, I can lose weight and keep it off whenever I want, right? It's just the opposite. So I'll never be happy. Oh, sorry. I'll never be happy might look like I've never been happier and I keep getting happier every day and every week. And I'll die young, turn into I'll live a long, healthy, and prosperous life. I can do all the things I love, the people I love, for as long as I want. Okay? So the really tricky part, or the more difficult part, is doing this left side, right? Filling out this left side. However, not if, but when you do the research, when you go through the research process that we just went over in one of the earlier videos, like when we did that research doc for our Stress Less supplement, and we used that Zen supplement on Amazon as the example, there are so many through lines and commonalities and common threads throughout every single one of those reviews, right? So you can easily kind of boil it down to like the top 3, 4, or 5 frustrations, fears, aspirations, right? When you have that actually makes this part, which is the most difficult part of the avatar map, incredibly easy, right? And you can just fill those things in. Then you just flip them on their head, the opposite, inverse, 180, whatever you want to call it. That's how you get the wants and the long-term aspirations. And like I said, whether it's in just a certain line of the copy, or if you're literally inserting these into the challenging, disqualification, if you're cool with all these pain points, this isn't for you. But if you want all these amazing aspirational dream things, which would literally be just inserting these into the email copy, you're literally just inserting these and maybe adding more depth and detail, but more or less inserting those into the copy. And people are like, oh my God, like you're speaking to me. This person's speaking to me and my life. And it's like they're reading my mind. How are they even doing this? This is how you're doing it. It is incredibly, incredibly powerful, and it's a tool that should be used for good and not evil. But this works incredibly, incredibly well.
So before we wrap this one up, Sam, I'm curious what you would say for how often someone should be making these avatar maps.
That's a good question. Kind of depends, right? So every time you start with a new client, you definitely want to do this. What I would also recommend is when you start with a new client is if they have any avatar information, or they have, this sort of data, kind of like this survey data on their customers, I would definitely ask for their input there. If not, no worries, you can do research on your own, and you'll do research on your own regardless. But I would go to the client, see, what information they do have that could be beneficial or helpful for you or to you. And each time you're promoting a new offer, I would probably do this, right? Because, you can have one client who they have, let's say in the fitness space, hypothetically, for the sake of example, let's say they have a muscle building course, right? But then they have a fat loss supplement. Those are, yes, both in fitness, but they're two wildly different things, two wildly different people, two wildly different goals, fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. So every time you're writing for a new offer, I would put one of these together. And it doesn't take terribly long. Especially once you become really accustomed to the audience that you're writing for, the list that you're writing for, the person that you're writing as. This is going to become easier and easier. Like I got to a point, eventually where I could put one of these together in 5 minutes, and it would work really well. But that was because I did it so much that it just kind of drilled it into my brain. And when I get a really, when you spend a lot of time writing for a certain audience and a certain list, you get to know them very, very, very well. You know what they resonate with, what resonates with them, and what doesn't. And you're going to be able to use that information to your advantage in putting this together more effectively and in less time.
And as you get more comfortable with the research process, end to end, you should be able to do a lot of really high quality research, certainly within a day. And as you get more comfortable, probably within a few hours, 2 or 3 hours. And that once you have that process nailed down, then putting this avatar map together on top of the research is a pretty small thing to do, because really all of the heavy lifting comes from the research itself. And once you have a good foundation pulled from high quality research, the avatar map kind of falls out because you did such a good job of compiling the frustrations in the first place.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else to add on this?
Nope. That's the avatar map.